Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sai's Daily Thoughts Journal Podcast, Episode 8. Don't Force It. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode 8. Don't force it. So, what do I mean by don't force it is that, if you listen to the last podcast episode, I was talking about an experience that I wanted to share, and this is like in regards to spiritual gifts. So, I used to try getting like on this live, like used to be on Facebook. I used to try getting like on this live Facebook chat with one of my friends who we used to be friends with somebody. I'm not sure if they call themselves an apostle or not, but they used to try doing this thing on Facebook Live with several people, and I had joined in on it, and it was about activating your spiritual gifts. And so that's just something that I definitely want to talk about right there, is that, when I went on there, she used to say, hey brother, so tell me something about me tell me something that the Lord is telling you about me. Stop right there. That is, no. You don't, you shouldn't, no, I don't think people should be doing that. We can't just force spiritual gifts to happen. It happens, and, it happens in the time that, Yah just, anoints us at that moment. We're already anointed, but, that he just fills us up with his spirit at that moment. And it doesn't happen on our own timing. That's something really important, is that when seeking spiritual gifts, it doesn't happen on our own timing. Just like that instance, because, when you're trying to, when you ask somebody like, hey, tell me something about what the Lord is telling you about me. That's like forcing things, and what can happen in that instance is that what's the word? Is it flattery? Flattery could happen in that instance, because you're kind of under pressure because you're live on Facebook and lots of people are watching you, and pressure can happen, and that can cause like flattery, or I'm not sure if flattery is the same thing as soothsaying, but it can cause it can cause prophesying falsely. Yes, it can surely cause prophesying falsely. Like you can end up prophesying something totally false, like kind of like a mask. Like being like, well, you are a woman of God, or you are a man of God, and you are just so, that he's anointing you and this kind of thing, and that this and that, and just saying a lot of a lot of things, just a lot of, how can I say it? A lot of things that sounds good to the ear. And so, yeah, do not force spiritual gifts. There's nothing wrong with zealously seeking to exercise spiritual gifts, which is what we should be doing, but do not force it. There was also another instance. There was also another example of something that I'm not I'm not even sure if that was biblical or not. But I'm not sure if it was biblical. I'm not sure if they were being told to do that by the pastor, or being made to do that, or if they were just doing it in themselves. It might be different if they was, trying to do it themselves, or thought to do it themselves. So what I'm talking about is I went to a church one time, and there was a few kids up. There was a few kids, or a few adults up in the front of where what they call the pew or something like that, and they're trying to like activate the gift of tongues, and from what I saw, from what I was seeing or hearing, it was kind of like repeating something fast. Excuse me. Like repeating something fast, like I love you, God. 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 Until you start saying it so fast. Now, am I saying that's wrong? I can't really. I think it probably depends on if the person is really trying to. If the person is really trying to genuinely speak in tongues, I think they have the right intentions to speak in tongues. When doing that, because I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. Because I'm just taking a moment to try to think about it. Like, okay, if I'm saying that over and over. Now, if I'm saying it over and over, what I don't need to do is keep saying it over and over so fast until it sounds like something you don't understand. Now, that is no. You don't force it like that. Now, of course you could keep saying I love God until he just hits you with the feeling of the Spirit, and you are not, and you're not you're not like saying it fast, like, you're not repeating I love God until, you're not doing that, but you're actually speaking in tongues then. So, yeah, so don't force it, but flow along with it. What's something else? The gift of healing. Whenever you're praying for somebody for healing, or whenever you are like going out there spreading the gospel and laying hands on people and praying for them, it's not wrong to consistently pray for people for healing. That's not wrong at all. But never be disappointed when somebody doesn't get healed, because we know the Father wants us all well, but sometimes there is a purpose. There might be a purpose. There might be a deeper purpose to to why we're not getting healed at the moment, and it might not be a bad purpose. It might be a good purpose. And by a good purpose, I mean like okay. Here's an example. let's say you got sick, right? Let's say you got really sick, and and you know yourself, being like, well, if I, even if I was a little sick, I'm still gonna go to work. But let's just say like you got really sick, and people try to pray healing on you and that kind of thing, so you can be able to go back to work. But little did you know that during the time that you was off and sick, that there was like this, there was like a whole, let's just say, let's just use a terrorist attack for an example. Let's just say, like, little did you know that during the time you were sick, there was a terrorist attack at your job site. And so that could be an instance to why sometimes people might not get healed. It's because there might actually be a good purpose. I might actually be a good purpose to y'all trying to protect you from maybe a certain area at a certain time. Another example just like that could be like, okay, well, say like you always go to work on time and that kind of thing, right? But let's just say you gotten sick, but you're pushing yourself to go to work, but you're driving much slower than you usually drive, and so if you're driving much slower than you usually drive, there, and let's just say you end up stopping at a stoplight, and you see like there's a bad wreck or something, and there you kind of like be like, wait, I usually like drive around like at this time, like that could have been me, because I usually drive here, like usually drive around this certain area around this time, and could have gotten like in this car collision. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Collision, or but there are instances where like that, where you might not get healed because he's trying to protect you from a certain area or in a certain time or season. You never know how long it could go on. So yeah, that's one thing, and another thing might be, another thing is, he might not heal a person at that time because he's trying to build up a person's endurance, so because for example, I think it was either Timothy, I'm thinking it was in the New Testament, where Paul was describing one of his brothers in Messiah was so sick that he thought he was going to die, and we know Paul had the gift of healing. People was healed from simply touching his apron. So like, why was someone who was so close to Paul, not getting healed? It might have been for a deeper purpose than what we're praying for. Of course, we should still continue to pray for healing, but sometimes it's good to say to yourself, like, if y'all wills, or or what's y'all's purpose, but so yeah, remember, don't force any spiritual gifts, but earnestly seek them at the same time. May y'all bless you in your journey and your walk in Yeshua, Jesus Christ, Messiah. Amen.